Have you ruled out trying confessed 9/11 mastermind Khalid Sheikh Mohammed in New York City?
I have not ruled it out, but I think it's important for us to take into account the practical, logistical issues involved. I mean, if you've got a city that is saying no, and a police department that's saying no, and a mayor that's saying no, that makes it difficult. But I think that the most important thing for the public to understand is we're not handling any of these cases any different than the Bush administration handled them all through 9/11. They prosecuted 190 folks in these Article III courts, got convictions, and those folks are in maximum security prisons right now. And there have been no escapes, and it is a virtue of our system that we should be proud of. Now, what I've also said is that it's important for us to recognize that when we're dealing with al-Qaeda operatives, that they may have national security intelligence that we need, and it's important to make sure that the processes and procedures we approach with respect to these folks are not identical to the ones that we would use if we're apprehending the local drug dealer. And that's why we put in place some very particular ways of dealing with these issues that ensure our security but also still uphold our due process.
Are you talking about reading them the Miranda rights,
well,
their Miranda rights?
Yeah.
In other words, like Abdul Muttalib, who has read his Miranda rights. A lot of people are very upset about that because he was giving information to the FBI, then his rights were to him, and he clammed up.
Well, that's actually not what happened. What happened was he clammed up, and after we had obtained actionable intelligence from him, that's when the FBI, the FBI folks on the ground then read him his Miranda rights. But keep in mind, Richard Reed was read his Miranda rights 5 minutes after he was arrested. Under the previous administration, some of the same critics of our approach have been employing this policy for years.
Having said that, should the practice of reading suspected terrorists their Miranda rights be reviewed?
Absolutely, everything should be reviewed. And what we've done is we've said, let's have the best interrogators around. Some of those, by the way, are going to be FBI officials. Some of them are going to be police officers who are very good at their jobs. Some of them are going to be national security experts. Let's put together teams that are in charge of the interrogation process, because we want to make sure, priority number one, when these kinds of events happen, have we gotten all the information we need to ensure that there's not going to be any additional attacks.
But you have not ruled out New York City as a venue?
We have not ruled out anything. We will make a definitive judgment based on consultations with all the relevant authorities.
All right. And finally, a Super